Hello all, myself Della David. I'm working as an assistant professor in the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering in Jyoti Engineering College, Cheruthuruthy. Today we'll be discussing the synchronous motor variable speed drives. As we all know, the synchronous motors runs at synchronous speed given by the expression Ns is equal to 120 F by P, where F is the supply frequency and P is the number of volts of the machine. So it is very clear that if we vary the supply frequency, we can control the speed of the synchronous motor. With the help of power electronic switches, we are able to vary the supply frequency. But there are some problems associated with the variation in supply frequency alone. If we increase the frequency, the air gap flux is reduced so that it affects the torque capability of the machine. Whereas if we decrease the frequency, there will be an increase in the air gap flux, which will result in an increased amount of magnetizing current and thereby creating noise. So we prefer the V by F control scheme, where the ratio V by F is kept as a constant. The ratio V by F is kept as a constant till the base speed operation. When V by F is kept as a constant, the maximum torque or pull-out torque or breakdown torque is constant. When V by F is a constant, the air gap flux is also a constant. So from the 0 to base speed operation, we prefer the V by F control scheme, where the V by F ratio is kept as a constant. But when the frequency reaches the rated value or the voltage reaches the rated value, that is, when we reaches the base speed, we cannot increase the voltage further, since it will result in the insulation failure of the armature windings. The armature windings may burn out. So once we reach the base speed, we cannot further increase the terminal voltage of the machine. The next step is to vary the frequency alone or to increase the frequency alone by keeping the voltage a constant. So beyond base speed, that is above base speed, voltage is kept as a constant and frequency is increased. During this mode, the pull-out torque is decreased since torque is proportional to V by F square. So as we increase the frequency beyond the base frequency, the pull-out torque decreases. Now, there are two modes of variable frequency control. The first one is true synchronous mode and second one is self-controlled mode. First we will see what is true synchronous mode. In true synchronous mode, the state of supply frequency is controlled by an independent oscillator, which means the stator frequency signals are generated by an independent oscillator. It doesn't depend upon any other parameter. So frequency is varied from its initial value to the desired value gradually so that the rotor is able to track the changes in the synchronous speed. So once the rotor reaches the speed same as that of the synchronous speed, rotor pulls into step after hunting the oscillations. So oscillations are there in this mode of operation. Therefore, damper windings are required to hunt the oscillations. If the changes in frequency are slow enough so that the rotor can track it, we can ensure a smooth starting and regenerative braking operation in this true synchronous mode of operation. The figure shows the block diagram of true synchronous mode of operation. This mode of operation is meant for multi-motor drives. An AC supply is there which is fed to a controlled rectifier. The controlled rectifier The output of the control rectifier is fed through a filter so that the desired magnitude of DC-link voltage is provided to the voltage source inverter. The voltage source inverter provides the necessary voltage, the necessary output voltage, which is the required voltage of desired magnitude and frequency to the synchronous motor stator windings. Here F star is our reference frequency. So this F star is independently generated and it is fed to a delay circuit. The delay circuit delays the signal so that the rotor is capable of tracking the changes in the stator supply frequency. So the supply frequency signals are fed to the voltage source inverter. Now the frequency signals are fed to a flux control block. The flux control block ensures that the V by F ratio is maintained as a constant till the base speed operation, and above base speed operation V is kept as a constant and F is increased. And accordingly this block will generate the voltage reference signal. Now the voltage reference signal is fed to a firing circuit which produces the necessary firing signals to the controlled rectifier. So this about the operation of true synchronous mode of synchronous motor drives. This is the case when a diode rectifier is used at the front end. So the DC-link voltage cannot be varied by using the diode rectifier. It provides a constant DC-link voltage. So both the voltage and frequency is controlled inside the voltage source inverter. Here the frequency signal is generated independently. It doesn't depend upon any other parameter. So the frequency signal and the voltage signals are fed into the inverter circuit as reference signals, and the inverter will produce the output voltage of required magnitude and frequency which is applied to the stator windings of the synchronous machine. The next mode of operation is self-control mode of operation. Here the difference is that the stator frequency is not independently controlled. The stator frequency is controlled in proportion to the rotor speed, so that the rotating magnetic field produced by the stator always moves at the same speed as that of the rotor, which means rotor runs always at synchronous speed. So how to track this? We can either employ terminal voltage sensors or rotor position sensors. Since the voltage induced in the stator phase has a frequency proportional to the rotor speed. So therefore, the self-control is realized by making the stator supply frequency to track the frequency of the induced voltage. Also, we can employ rotor position sensors. The stator supply frequency is made to track the frequency of the signals produced by these sensors. So as I told, here in this mode of operation, the synchronous speed is always same as that of the rotor speed. So rotor runs at synchronism always. There is no chance of hunting. So we do not require damper windings in this mode of control. The figure shows the self-control mode of operation. This is a synchronous motor. This is the rotor and the outer part of the stator. There we are having the rotor position sensors. So the rotor position sensor is fed to a control block, which in turn produces the necessary reference signals to the voltage source inverter. So the frequency signals are not generated independently, but it depends on the rotor position sensor output. Here it is very clear that the frequency is generated by a block which takes the input from the rotor position or the terminal voltage sensors. Also, there is an outer speed loop. The actual speed is sensed and it is compared with the reference speed so as to generate the error signal, and depending upon the error signal, the firing angle to the converter to the phase control rectifier is generated. So therefore, we can control the DC link voltage V, and the frequency is controlled by this section. Here are some of the features of true synchronous mode of operation. Multi-motor drive is possible in this mode of operation because this mode of operation allows to track the changes in frequency, so that if a set of motors are working, all of them will be working at the same speed. There is hunting issues uh, and also stability problems. So therefore, damper windings are required. This mode can be realized either using a voltage source inverter or using a current source inverter. If if we are going for a wound field machine, the power factor can be controlled by controlling the excitation, the field excitation. And now looking into the self-control mode of operation, there is no hunting issue and there is no stability issue. Therefore, damper windings are not required. It provides good dynamic response since the rotor doesn't want to go back and check whether it is running at synchronous speed. The stator supply frequency is made so that the rotor runs always at synchronous speed. This circuit also can be done using a voltage source inverter or a current source inverter. Also, the load side commutation is possible for the current source inverter. So, we do not require forced commutation techniques in the self-control mode of operation. As we have discussed earlier, the power factor can be well controlled by changing the excitation. So with this, we'll wind up this lecture. We'll see in the next lecture. Thank you.